This city absolutely surprised me. I thought it would just be an afterthought after an incredible few days in Siem Reap exploring Angkor Wat, but I fell in love with Phnom Penh for the rich history, culture, food, shopping, and art, and in this vlog I'm going to hopefully help inspire you to see it for yourself. Good morning! So now we are on our road trip to Phnom Penh, a trip with a company called Day Trip that specializes in customizing road trips that go from point A to point B, showing you really interesting stops along the way. So our first stop is the, wait, how do I say it again? Spien Pratu.
Or called Spien Kampong Kadai. Is the name of this location is Kampong Kadai.
Okay.
Yeah, and the meaning of the bridge is Pratu in English, so that show direction. We can know the direction so you know from here. Yeah, north to the south.
What he said. So we are going to cross the bridge and then head over to the next stop on this trip. Our first stop was the Kampong Kadai Bridge, which was built in the 12th century during the Angkor Empire, and it's one of the last surviving bridges from the era. This bridge is actually so architecturally, historically, and culturally significant that it's on the 5,000 riel note. After that, we drove a few more hours to Sambor Praekuk, the ruins of an incredible temple in the forest. A lot of the temples were bombed by the US in the 70s, but the ones still standing show incredible details and are nestled in banyan trees that grow between, over, and all around them. Then a few hours later, and a rest stop, we were at the last stop on our almost 10-hour road trip, Phnom Penh Reach Trop. This site served as the capital of Cambodia between 1618 and 1868. Scattered across the mountaintop are towering tombs of Cambodia's kings and a beautiful stupa that is said to house relics from the Buddha himself. The base of the ridge also has a memorial in honor of Pol Pot's victims, found in the area's 100 mass graves. And we have made it to the last stop on our road trip and climbed 500 steps to get to the top of this. Luckily, it is right around sunset, so it's cooled off a little bit. It's not quite as sweltering as it was earlier. And yeah, the views are awesome. This temple is incredibly beautiful, so worth the climb. Just watch out for the monkeys because they were all over the stairs. For this trip, we checked into the Tribe Hotel, a stylish and centrally located property. This hotel featured very hip decor and was really lively thanks to the influx of travelers as well as digital nomads frequenting the co-working space. The hotel featured a restaurant, lounge, gym, and pool deck, and the rooms were small but comfortable with everything you need for your stay. Since it was late and we were exhausted from traveling, we had a lazy dinner and got ready to get up for our early morning tour, which was going to be culturally significant but also really heavy to absorb. We booked a tour of the Killing Fields and Genocide Museum because it's an essential part of Cambodian history that simply can't be ignored. This tour took us to one of the many killing fields, places where almost 3 million souls perished under the Khmer Rouge regime. Our guide took us for a walk of the grounds, highlighting the atrocities committed and the impact on Cambodian society today. Our journey continued to the Genocide Museum, or S21, a former prison where countless individuals were held captive before either perishing in prison or being taken to the killing fields. This side was especially heartbreaking as we got to meet and talk to several survivors who were there to tell their stories and ensure this dark moment in history is never forgotten. So I didn't even really vlog that much today because it was just really heavy seeing all of the historic sites and everything we saw. So we just kind of like took the afternoon off just to like decompress and process everything because it was really heavy and really dark. And now we're just gonna go out for some drinks and from dinner, some kind of try to lighten the mood a little bit and just like learn more about and enjoy more about the present day Cambodia versus the really dark history and all the horrible things that happened here. So dinner that night went faster than I could film, but it was amazing. And then we ended the night with drinks at the Rosewood Hotel, which had incredible views. And then the next morning we had breakfast at the hotel and headed out for a much more lighthearted morning of shopping. We started at Central Market, which was full of clothing, jewelry, electronics, and art in one section, and fresh produce and meat in another. I was tempted to buy more clothes, but I didn't because I had already picked up a few things I loved and was running out of luggage space. Then we headed over to Street 240, a trendy upscale neighborhood full of charming cafes, boutiques, and art galleries. I had the perfect bowl of Cambodian noodles and we split some passion fruit ice cream, and then we met up with our tour guide for an afternoon of exploring Cambodian street art. So we wanted to do something different to kind of get to know more about modern contemporary Cambodian history and culture. So today we are doing a street art and gallery tour, which I found on Get Your Guide. They actually suggested it for me, and I will leave a link in the description box. It kind of came up in the like, you might like this. And yeah, I love it. It's incredibly cool. This tour was a total immersion into the city's vibrant contemporary art scene. Our guide led us through the Arts District, an area that is still largely residential, but dotted with colorful murals throughout. We saw some of the most amazing street art, over 40 murals that just blew my mind. We also stopped in at several high-end galleries for curated exhibits by local and international artists, and then ended the tour at the cutest creative cocktail and snack bar with some shared bites and good vibes. So right now I am here inside the Royal Palace grounds. I think that this is definitely worth a visit. It's really beautiful. It's also really peaceful and quiet here, which is great. There's a lot of really beautiful gardens and outdoor parts. In the interior parts, you are not allowed to film, so I won't be able to show you guys inside of there. But it's a really important, I think, visit when you are in this area, if you have time to kind of go in and explore, learn a little bit about the history, about the importance of this location, and just kind of soak in the natural beauty and the really quiet, peaceful vibes. I almost skipped this, but I'm so glad I took some time to explore the Royal Palace. The Royal Palace of Cambodia is a complex of buildings which serves as the official royal residence of the King of Cambodia. The structures and gardens are truly beautiful, and it felt so peaceful compared to how hectic many parts of the city can be. After that, I spent the last few hours of my trip soaking up the sun and some cocktails by the pool before heading off to the airport. Thanks so much for hanging out with me on this trip. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone you may want to go to Cambodia with. And check me out on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.